gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Those at the tables and the riffraff around the bar. Good evening. And thank you for coming to the Barrie Arts Awards. We're here for a fun evening tonight at the Barrie Country Club. We are Dale and Charlie from 107.5 Cool FM. As you know, we are known for our highbrow and cultured humor each and every morning. We're famous for it. Before we get going, we'd like to take care of something. Before we get started, we'd like to respond to one of the 64 calls to action from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada to honor the original occupants of this place. And we thank everyone for listening intently. We would like to acknowledge this sacred land on which we gather today. It has been the site of human activity for 15,000 years. This land was previously Huron-Wendat territory, but this nation perished due to disease brought over by the settlers. Currently, it is the territory of the Anishinaabe Nation. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture. We also recognize the enduring presence of Indigenous peoples on this land and are committed to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect. Miigwech. Thank you.
Please join us in welcoming our special guests in attendance. City of Barrie Councillor, Barrie Ward. Where are you, Barrie? There you go.
I know I always tell you Barrie, but with a name like Barrie Ward, what else were you going to do for a living?
City of Barrie Councillor, Arif Khan. And we'd also like to thank the Barrie Country Club for hosting this event and welcoming us into this space.
Now, we should thank some of the wonderful sponsors because, as we all know, great events do not come off without great sponsors. So if you would please, Brad Kennedy and colleagues from TD are representing sponsor, and thank you for all your support. Tim Kravilak and Gary Evans from Georgian College Design and Visual Arts, award sponsor for the Emerging Artist category. Todd Palmer, or T-Palms as he's known to his friends, from Pratt Homes, our award sponsor for the Business Champion category. Chad and Sandra Ballantyne, our design sponsors for Rhubarb Media. Thank you for designing the program and marketing materials again. And Chaz Hay from Inside the Music, thank you for bringing incredibly inspiring talent to our stage.
Our event sponsors, Ted Handy of Ted Handy and Associates. Todd Tuckey of Tamarco Contracting Limited. Our colleagues at Cool FM and Rock 95.
Also, Philip Oben from the Barrieview Retirement Community. Upsight, and Sound. Under the leadership of Ron Gabriel, who ensure our show sounds and looks great, except for the MCs, of course. Not their fault. Yes, and again, the Barrie Country Club. What a great venue it is, and you can tell it's a great venue when they've got 3 events going on at the same time. Who's parked somewhere down St. Vincent? There'll be a shuttle service to take you back to your car after the event.
So we'd like to explain a little bit about the awards process and the awards creations. Nominations come from the community of 6 wards. We received 39 nominations this year. The categories are Emerging Artist, Most Promising Youth, Contribution to the Community, Excellence in the Arts, Business Champion, and Artists Without Barriers.
And special to this year, there's also going to be a Cultural Changemaker Award granted to a community member who is no longer with us. Now, every 4th year, in line with the municipal elections, we crown our Poet Laureate. So tonight, we crown Barrie's 3rd Poet Laureate. We want to encourage all of you to think about those that have made amazing contributions to the arts, and remember to nominate them next year. Nominations are reviewed, and winners are selected by a committee of jurors. These people have been selected from outside the community. As we turn the page. so that we acquire objective opinions. I'm voting for my friends, based on the nominees' contributions to the arts. Each year, we hire a local artist to design the award statuettes, original pieces that are works of art in themselves. Now, previous year's awards designers include Derek Martin, Marlene Hilton Moore, Ted Fullerton, Timothy Lauren, Lisa Harpel, and amongst others. All are celebrated artists in their fields. The creation of the award by a local artist is a unique tradition that we hope to continue. You will see that they are truly authentic Canadian art and representative of the wonderful work happening in our own community. This year's award was designed by Jeanette Lucchese. You get a chance to see some of the art that we're going to be enjoying this evening. Jeanette is a first-generation Italian-Canadian creating within the disciplines of drawing, printmaking, painting, sculpture, poetry, and when so moved, transcribing the results to sound. A graduate of School of Design and Visual Art, Georgian College and Sheridan College School of Design, she resides in Innisfil and exhibits internationally. You can catch her solo exhibit at Georgian's Campus Gallery now until December the 9th. So let's just a round of applause, Jeanette. Thank you very much for the stunning creations, including this one right here. Thank you very much. So we're very pleased to be here this evening. I am too, because I was very artistic in school and stuff, and obviously it hasn't transformed into something I do for a living, as you can tell, because I felt it was much easier for me to make a living doing other people's art and playing it on the radio than doing my own. But how about you? I mean, I used to take art and actually went to art class and evening classes and everything, and almost toyed with the idea of coming to Georgian College to pursue art.
I failed art. You know that part of art class in grade 8 when you're supposed to make the face out of clay? And the nose didn't look like a nose. It looked like a different body. I didn't say which body part.
Throw it in the kiln and fire it up anyway?
Hanging on my mantle.
I could just be intimidated. All right, now then, before we start the show, we'd like to welcome a special guest to the stage to help us kick off the 10th Anniversary Arts Awards.
Honoured guests, as official town crier for the city of Barrie, I bring news of the greatest importance. For today, we are all here to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Barrie Arts Awards. Today, we recognise the people who add a certain je ne sais quoi to our community. I added that posh little bit of French. I thought it sounded very arty. I'm so glad it did. Yes, indeed. People who, through their work, contribute to our community. Emerging artists, business champions, most promising young people, excellence in arts, and artists without barriers. Also, a special award for cultural change maker too. Ooh. All these people make Barrie a wonderful place to live and to visit. We are not some boring little place that you drive through on the way up to Muskoka. No, we are a vibrant, interesting, historic, cultured, and amazing community. The very jewel of Ontario. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, today we welcome you and thank the generous sponsors who have made this day possible. Long may the Barrie Arts Award continue, and God bless our great and cultured and amazingly free country, Canada!
Thank you, Steve. Now we would like to welcome Karen Dubois, Director of the Creative Economy of the City of Barrie, to join us on stage for a few words.
My goodness, I don't think there's anything left to be said. I think it was a tough act to follow, but on behalf of Invest Barrie and Creative Economy teams at the City of Barrie, we welcome you here today. It is amazing to think that this is 10 years of this event, 10 years of nurturing, fostering, and recognizing the creative talents that reside here in our community. And with all of the support of the people that are here, the artists, the organizations, the sponsors, it's all a collaboration to bring this to bear. And it has a tremendous impact on our community. And just as one slight insight into this, the economic and community benefits of just the cultural programs out of Creative Economy has been over $8 million in the last year alone. So we're really doing great work. More importantly, as our city continues to grow and diversify with many more cultures becoming residents here in Barrie, the role of arts and culture and events and bringing all of the people together to create that shared identity becomes even more important. And so we thank you for your participation and support, and we look forward to another 10 years of amazing arts and culture in Barrie. Thank you. So to kick things off, I'm very honored to take this opportunity to introduce and present our very new and very special award, the Cultural Changemaker Award. And as has been mentioned, this is an award that's given to signify an individual's efforts to make transformational change within the arts community of Barrie and to acknowledge their impact in the cultural landscape. It's awarded also when there's significant degrees of support from the members of the community to honor and recognize this individual. So tonight, we would like to posthumously recognize Stephen Mosley, also known as Mo Stevenson, as the recipient of the first ever Cultural Changemaker Award. Mosley was a folk musician, a coffee shop owner, a music scene founder, and a well-known busker who lobbied for the creation of a street performer program here in Barrie, a legacy that continues today with the Emerging Musicians Program, and through self-publishing 5 CDs that he produced of his music. In the 1970s, Stephen was instrumental in establishing the first Barrie Folk Society. His incredible music talent speaks for itself as a folk artist who told stories of the ups and downs of Barrie through his original songwriting and his music. Most importantly, his perseverance in the face of adversity and challenges, his dedication to performing in all kinds of weather and health conditions, his exceptional music abilities, and his passion for fostering the active street performer program in the city are the reasons we recognize Stephen tonight as a cultural changemaker. We also wish to acknowledge the efforts of Darren Roscom, who mobilized the community support for this honor. And this award is being presented to his brother, Paul Mosley, on Moses' behalf. So Paul, please come up and join me in acknowledging Stephen for his contributions.
you very much, everyone. I won't take much of your time. I realize you've got a busy evening. Our family is so honored to be here on Stephen's behalf tonight. My parents would have been so pleased to see the impact of Stephen's music and his pursuit of folk music in particular, and the positive effect it had on so many people in Barrie. You know, Stephen was a self-taught guitarist and a self-taught on the harmonica, and he was influenced by many people when he was first starting out, Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen and Bruce Cockburn, Gordon Lightfoot. He was really a fixture in Barrie's folk history. Although he played clubs back in the 70s with the likes of David Wilcox and Lynn Miles, it was the entertainment in public music, street music, that he really had a passion for. As he traveled the country in pursuit of his dream in Victoria and Vancouver and Ottawa and Kingston, he saw the benefits that music could bring and the happiness that music could bring to so many people. So he pushed hard to lobby the city of Barrie, and through submissions to them, and got significant coverage from the Barrie Examiner at the time, all of which I think helped the city see the value in that music. Many of you will be most familiar with him, as Karen said, particularly in the off seasons, all kinds of weather. It is in his coat and scarf and fingerless gloves through some of Barrie's harshest winters. He had a hard life, and those harsh winters and stroke and ultimately cancer took its toll on Stephen, and the streets of Barrie will forever be just a little bit different. But I'd ask that when you're passing one of Barrie's talented musicians out braving the elements, trying to gain exposure and trying to enrich the lives of others, that you stop for a moment, listen, and smile. Thanks again on behalf of our family. Thank you so much.
We thought long and hard about the best way to recognize Mo's contribution, and to bring the music back to the streets, we felt was really the way to best honor him. So to honor his musical legacy, the City of Barrie has arranged for the donation of 2 Canadian-made acoustic guitars to the Barrie Public Library's Instrument Lending Library. Accepting the guitars are Chris Vandecruz from the Barrie Public Library and Greg Groen from the Huronia Symphony Orchestra, who were instrumental in founding the Instrument Lending Library, and we hope that these guitars encourage some young musicians to develop their talent and craft.
Okay, one more. A little closer, Amanda. Everybody over here first. Perfect, thanks guys.
All right, thanks everyone. Now, we have a small request for those standing at the bar at the back. We need you to part the seas. Move out to the side. We are going to be needing all the floor space right there in front of the bar. So if you're standing there, it's like one side or the other, because we are about to have a fantastic performance courtesy of Sasha Pena. Now, Sasha Pena, we're going to welcome him to the stage to share his talents as a dancer, choreographer, and hip-hop teacher. Sasha is a passionate dancer working across disciplines in jazz, lyrical, musical theater, contemporary, and acro, traveling the world with his talents, all by the age of 17. Despite his young age, you'll see why he's already received countless accolades and awards in dance. Please join us in welcoming Sasha Pena to the stage.
I remember something. How the heron first I breathed that last Sunday. Long down the yellow road, I remember something. That he wasn't easy on that evening in my mind. Certain as evening and his now was not the time. Toiling with your blood, I remember something. You'd be a Russian kissing on a night second to last. Finding both your hands, your second sunken past the glass. And oh, I know it felt right, I had you in my grasp. Oh, then how we gonna cry? 'Cause it once might not mean something. Love a second glance, it is not something. Honey, understand that I have been left here in the heat. But all I'm trying to do is get my feet up from the creek. And I see you turn around, you're waiting. Turn around now, you're waiting. Goddamn, turn around now, you're waiting.
Please help me welcome Brad Kennedy, Professional Assistant Branch Manager for TD Wealth, to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brad Kennedy. I am here on behalf of TD Bank to present the award for the most promising youth. At TD, we believe that one of the best investments we can make in our communities is by investing in the arts. It is our belief that a thriving arts environment is essential to the overall health and vibrancy of our communities. This is why we are proud to be returning as the presenting sponsor of the Barrie Art Awards. The most promising youth category is awarded to an individual 19 years of age or younger enrolled in a secondary or post-secondary institution that has demonstrated a superior ability in their art form. This year's shortlisted nominees are Sabrina Argue, Angelique Cruteau, and Mitchell Grazat. This year, the most promising youth art award goes to Mitchell Grazat. Just hold tight there, Mitch. We're going to say a few more nice things about you. Mitch began making videos at 8 years old. His love of film led him to the Toronto Film Festival, where he was exposed to the power of short films. Inspired, he entered the Barrie Film Festival in 2015, where he and a friend placed third in the high school division. Following this success, he created many more short films that won numerous awards, including gold in the Wasaga Beach Film Festival's Youth and Student Division for The Backwoods and Platonic. This film was later chosen for screening at the Vaughan Film Festival and Barrie Film Festival, where it won the People's Choice Award, as well as second place in the high school division. His short films, Raider and 18, were both well received and at the 2017 Barrie Film Festival and South Georgian Bay Film Festival, winning multiple awards. In between adding to his resume, Mitch delved into production of short promotional videos and quickly grew this into a viable summer business through the government's Summer Company program. He has since completed his first year of film school at Ryerson University, started the university's Road to Ryerson blog, and completed his first one-hour documentary entitled Memories for Sale, which highlights the ups and downs of a self-published author trying to get noticed. Mitch embodies what it's like to be young and creative. A passionate storyteller with a keen eye for detail, his imagination and creativity shine through. He writes films, he edits, and has also recently begun producing his own original music. We can't wait to see what he comes up with next. Please join me in congratulating Mitchell Grisat, Barrie's Most Promising Youth for 2018.
Sorry, I'm very awkward. I just want to say I love this city so much. It's always been super welcoming of all my films and all my art that I've created. So thank you. My dream one day is to come back and make a big movie here. So if anyone wants to finance, we can do super low budget, like 10 or 20 million, something like that. That's it, thank you.
After meeting Mitch, I have such low expectations for my children now. I was trying to explain to my 10-year-old today why he needs to wear pants to school. Not even joking. Our next performance is Bridget Anderson. Bridget is a Barrie native, but her classic lounge style combines elements of the world from South Africa to Spanish, Portuguese to Polish. While she's fiercely talented, she's even more fiercely dedicated to bringing diversity to the music industry through female and LGBTQ and representation. Bringing elements of jazz, pop, and R&B to her sound, you'll find her music infectious and captivating. Please welcome Bridget Anderson to the stage.
Bit of a rig.
Boom.
remember 1999? This one's waiting for tonight. Now to see your lips on my fingertips, that to say is even better than I ever thought it could possibly be. It's perfect, it's fashion, it's setting me free from all of my sadness, the tears that I've cried. I have spent all of my life waiting for tonight. Oh, when you would be here in my arms, waiting for tonight. Oh, I've dreamed of this love for so long, waiting for tonight. To know what to say, to take my breath away. Love me now and leave me never. I found a sacred place next to your embrace. Wanna stay in this forever. I think of the days when the sun used to set on my empty heart, all alone in my bed, tossing and turning, emotions were strong. I knew I had to hold on, waiting for tonight. Oh, when you would be here in my arms, waiting for tonight. Oh, I've dreamed of this love for so long, waiting for tonight. Oh, when you would be here in my arms, waiting for tonight. Oh, I've dreamed of this love for so long, waiting for tonight. Gone are the days when the sun used to set on my empty heart, all alone in my bed, tossing and turning, emotions were strong. I knew I had to hold on, waiting for tonight. Oh, when you would be here in my arms, waiting for tonight. Oh, I've dreamed of this love for so long, tonight. When you would be here in my arms, waiting for tonight. Tonight, I've dreamed of this love for so long, waiting for tonight. Participation on this one. If you're having a good time tonight at the Barrie Arts Awards, snap your fingers, clap your hands. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Tiana, Tiana, no matter how you take it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana. Tiana, Tiana, no matter how you take it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana.
Tiana, think you know how to play her name,
but you don't know how to play her game. Cause it's never the same with Tiana, Tiana. No matter how you take it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana. Tiana, Tiana, no matter how you take it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana. But when you first get to know her, soon you realize that they made you feel good in ways you never knew she could. Cause she knows the way you flow. And if you don't know, now you know. Tiana, Tiana, no matter how you think it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana. Tiana, Tiana, no matter how you take it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana.
You know this girl, she comes around, she's on the beaches, but come what may, you know she always reaches us in her thoughts and her hearts and on the stage. But she loves the way the hump a day fades away. It goes into the night, that's when she comes alive. Just watch her body, it's so bright, she dresses to so fly. Hold me tight, you know she can't even stay dry. But watch out, she ain't just another pretty face. Better back up what you gotta say or else don't be surprised when you put your check in line. I pity the fool who ain't down with his tea.
She doesn't have to do much, she just sits there and muses us. She's a music, she's a music, she's a music to us. She's so fine, yeah, one of a kind. And I know that's a really obvious rhyme, but I ain't got no words to say. So all I have to offer you today, Tiana, Tiana, no matter how you say it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana. Tiana, Tiana, no matter how you say it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana. Tiana, Tiana, no matter how you say it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana. Tiana, Tiana, no matter how you say it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana. Tiana, Tiana, no matter how you think it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana. Tiana, Tiana, no matter how you think it, she gon' make you wanna come on, Tiana. Thank you very much, Barrie.
Thanks very much, Rich. That's a pretty cool system you got set. Is there anything we can do to get, we should get one of those for Cool FM, so the next time we require some singing, there might be some additional way to help out with the quality of the singing. Just saying. That's pretty neat. That's very, very entertaining. That's good. Right now, to present our next award, please join us in welcoming to the stage Gary Evans from Georgian College School of Design and Visual Arts.
That was amazing, Bridget. I don't think my iPad does that. Just even for the deep voice alone, it'd be worth the investment. It's my great pleasure to be here on behalf of Georgia College Design and Visual Arts to present the award for Emerging Artists. As you can well imagine, we are in the business of helping prepare artists, designers, jewelers, museum workers, for their careers. So it's a great privilege to be able to present this one tonight. The Emerging Artist Award is given to an individual who has begun to develop a body of work in preparation of a professional career in the arts. The shortlisted nominees this year are John Anderson, Megan Ann, and Ian Mogach. And this year, the Emerging Artist Award goes to Megan Ann. Megan Ann is an indie pop singer-songwriter with a wide range of musical abilities. She has studied under Cirque du Soleil's Renee Cingolani, is self-taught on piano and ukulele, and is currently enrolled in the independent music production program at Seneca College. Megan was York University's Vocal Music Program 2017 recipient of both the Sterling Beckwith Award and the Amasco Performing Arts Award. Her debut EP, Phoenix, was just released on all major music retailers, and it's 30 minutes of pure awesome. I listened to it this afternoon. Megan is a passionate composer and an award-winning writer. Her recent songwriting accomplishments include co-writing with country artist Rob Watts and PJ Gowan of Cardinal Street, further cementing her place as an up-and-coming musical force. Please join me in congratulating and welcome to the stage Megan Ann, Barrie's Emerging Artist for 2018.
Okay, look over here right there for a quick smile. One more, bigger smile. Sure. Perfect.
Hello. I really don't know what to say, and you can tell because I sat so far in the back. That was such an awkward walk. Thank you to the Barrie Arts Award. This is really an honor, and I really genuinely appreciate it. And thank you to all of you for coming out to support local artists. It's incredible. And thank you to my family and friends, especially my mom and dad. I told them when I was 9 that I wanted to be a singer, and they have just been endlessly supportive since then. So thank you very much. Have a nice night, everyone.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you to Gary and Georgian College for their ongoing support of the arts. Very important. Up next, for the Art in Unexpected Places. Special presentation, please welcome Carol Ann Ryan, Vice Chair of the Barrie Public Art Committee, to the stage.
Hi everybody, my name is Carol Ann Ryan, and as I was introduced, I'm the Vice Chair of the Barrie Public Art Committee, and I'm here this evening on the committee's behalf to discuss a project that we coordinated and presented here in Barrie in 2017 called Art in Unexpected Places. But to begin, I'd just like to give a brief introduction to what the Barrie Public Art Committee is and what are our intentions for the community. The Barrie Public Art Committee's goal is to enhance Barrie with art and encourage residents and visitors alike to visit our public spaces. Made up of volunteers from the art and design industry and interested community members, BPAC, as we call ourselves, secures art by commissioning new works, facilitating donations, and organizing temporary art installations. The vision of this committee is connecting our community through public art. And it's our mission to enhance the city of Barrie by purposefully acquiring public art that inspires and connects the community in our public spaces. We will promote art appreciation and build lasting relationships through education, integration, and activation that engages the community, creates conversation, and demonstrates the value of public art. And in 2017, we were presented with a really exciting opportunity by the city to take the 2017 year, the Canada 150 year, and develop a public art program that would enrich the overall programming that the city had prepared that year. And we put forward a proposal that rather than developing a plan to commission one large or small permanent work of art or sculpture, we thought it would be a more dynamic opportunity to present a series of artworks in a variety of media and in a short period of time so that the artwork could change and offer different opportunities for different people in the community to engage with it. And what came out of that was art in unexpected places that was on display in the core of Barrie from June to September of 2017. And I'm going to flip my slide. I didn't get a dry run, so, okay. So just briefly, I would like to just read a brief section of the curatorial statement to give you a sense of our intention. So from June 30th to September 4th, 5 installations of public art will enliven our downtown and waterfront in forms and locations that will surprise. Illuminate Barrie, art in unexpected places, will bring elements of spectacle and introspection to citizens and visitors alike. During this 8-week period, the exhibition will evolve and grow, so be sure to keep looking up, looking down, participating, and sharing. And we truly did live up to that in the sense that there were 5 installations in total that we presented. 3 kicked off the exhibition and 2 others were added as the summer went on. I used to teach art history a long time ago. I should know how to do this. All right, so the first piece I want to introduce you to was presented right downtown at the Tiger Shark space, and Tiger Shark was one of our generous sponsors. And this window overlooks what is now Meridian Place. At the time, it was a construction site. And the artist is Nicholas Sassoon. And the artists that we selected for this exhibition, in fact, were drawn from across the country. Nicholas Sassoon is based in Vancouver. He creates digital animations. And Blue Shore is, in fact, an animation that we thought recalled the undulating waves of Kempenfelt Bay. And if is there a way to play the video? Please? Just to give you a brief sense of what this installation looked like. And you can see there that it was a very meditative and quite lovely video work that just quietly ran in the evening hours and allowed for visitors and community members to just contemplate the rolling waves that we thought recalled Barrie's place and our setting on Kempenfelt Bay. Secondly, another installation that we put forth for this exhibition was Soapbox by Chris Hansen and Hendrika Sonnenberg. Hansen and Sonnenberg are in fact an internationally known collaborative duo who have recently returned from New York City to Ontario. And they live in Minden, and they gave us an opportunity to present this piece. It was an interactive sculpture that was installed outside of the bus station. We can see here Mayor Jeff Lehman interacting with the sculpture at the launch of the exhibition. I think people had a lot of fun with it. And fortunately, the Barrie Public Art Committee has made an arrangement with the artists to actually buy this sculpture as a legacy piece for the city. And we're hoping to see this piece installed outside of Barrie City Hall within the year. It was significant for the theme of the exhibition being the 150 year, in that this piece recalls notions of freedom of speech and very much recalls ideas of where we are here in Canada and this, this country where we have an opportunity to speak our minds and express ourselves. And I think that's a really important message to remind everyone of. Oops. This next piece is entitled Rabbit, and the artist is Ryan Park. He's a Toronto-based artist who creates lens-based work. What you see here is in fact a shadow puppet that has been recorded by the artist, and it's a durational video. So this piece was displayed in a storefront on Clapperton Street, and it was rear projected from inside the shop that was empty at the time, and also ran in the evening hours. And I have a slide here, it's actually another video, and Tim Lauren, who was in fact the exhibition coordinator, participated in our educational program. I'll let him describe this.
It's very subtle in that it is moving, and there's several elements going on. I think this one is probably the most complex in the many layers that's happening, because when we think about this kind of activity, there's a certain sense of nostalgia around it, especially for people of my age. And we used to sit in the tent with the kids, and we would have shadow puppet theater every night. So people are nodding, they understand. Yeah. And because this is a video projection, it's digital, but yet the very existence of this would have been analog. And I'm very much interested in that flip between what is analog and what is digital today, and what are the subtleties between the two. The other thing is that this rabbit only exists because of light, right? It's a shadow, or rather this rabbit exists because of the lack of light that's being cast. And what is video is a projection of light. So it's light of light of light. Again, it's really the image that's created through the shadow.
And this short video is also an example of the public programming that we developed to accompany the exhibition. So over the course of the summer, we had 2 public openings to celebrate the developing projects, but we also had a series of public walking tours. Our very own town crier, who's here this evening, hosted a tour. Tim Lauren, who is an artist and was the exhibition coordinator for this show, also led a tour, and I also led a tour. And all of those were free and open to the public, and we had great turnout, and it was a really exciting opportunity to share this art with people in the community and visitors as well. And then the fourth piece that was installed, this piece was installed later in the summer, about mid-August. This piece is entitled Quadriga Variant. I believe it was very popular. It was a series of large inflated horses that were installed on the roof of the Five Points Theatre. And they sat there, and they very proudly looked as though they were charging over the roof of the theatre. And for us in developing this exhibition, it was symbolic of Barrie's charging ahead in terms of being, the fastest growing city in Ontario, and its bright future, and leaping forward as we move forward in time. And it was a really nice and exciting piece that charmed a lot of people in a very public spot. We also have a video with this one. And could we play the video on the right, please? This is sort of a behind-the-scenes sneak peek of what it took to inflate these horses inside the theater. So you can see a deflated one in the foreground, and you can see in the background the process of one of the horses being inflated. And it was pretty wild to be in that space while that was going on. It's quite they're enormous, as you can imagine, if you could see them from the street. That was a really interesting hands-on aspect of the project, which is something that we get to do here in Barrie, pulling these community events together. And lastly, we installed Limelight Saturday Night by Sans Façon. And this was a spontaneous installation. The artists, Sans Façon, are another collaborative duo. They are both based in Calgary. And this particular installation has been installed in cities around the world, including a few other cities in Canada. And part of the concept behind the work is that we do not let the community know that this piece is coming. We do not let them know where it's going to be installed. And when it is installed, it's only in place for one night only. And we saved this for Labor Day weekend, the Saturday night of Labor Day weekend, so it coincided with the beautiful fireworks display that the city put on. And we got a fantastic response to the piece because the public is encouraged to engage with it, but there's no invitation, there's no direction. There may be some people in this room who engaged with it. And the benefit of working with these artists, Sans Façon, is not only did we have their one-time installation, but they also document all the people participating. So the city now owns this beautiful archived collection of still photographs and video of the participation with the piece. And I actually have a short video here to share with you, if I can get this to go the right way. Please. It's one more, it's the second last slide. Yes, thank you. Can I have one more slide, please? Thank you. And so to conclude, this was a really exciting opportunity for the city. The Public Art Committee, we all put in tons of time and energy to pull it off. The city were fantastic partners in terms of organizing and really helping us pull it all off because we are a committee of volunteers. But we also couldn't have done it without the support of our amazing sponsors. Pratt Homes was the exhibition presenting sponsor. Tiger Shark was the presenting sponsor for Blue Shore, the Downtown Barrie BIA, and of course the grant from Celebrate Ontario. So going forward, the Public Art Committee hopes to do more work like this in the community, and hopefully we'll have another project to speak about at the Arts Awards in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol Ann. At this time, we would like to invite Rob Moyer, Vice President of the City of Barrie's Accessibility Advisory Committee, to join us to present the next award.
Good evening, everyone. I don't normally look this good, but it's Movember, so I must remind everybody to please donate in honor of men's cancer research. Thank you. I'm Rob Meyer, and it's my distinct honor to be here to offer the second annual Barrie Artists Without Barriers Award. I'm the Vice Chair of the City's Accessibility Advisory Committee, and this award goes to an artist who has demonstrated creative originality through a body of work despite living with a continuous or recurrent mental or physical disability that results in a substantial restriction in their ability to work, care for themselves, or take part in community life. The nominees this evening are Sandra Chan and Valerie Losell. This year, the Artists Without Barriers Award goes to Valerie Losell. Valerie Losell is a lifelong lover of literature, studying, teaching. She has practiced using the art of words her entire life as a crucial way of understanding herself and the world. She has also expressed her joy at living as a dancer, a visual artist, a crafter, a pianist, a cyclist, an elite racer, and a synchronized swimmer. In one of life's twists, a career-ending cognitive brain and spinal cord injury in 2010 brought this active life to a halt and gave Valerie time and quiet to engage the world in a more contemplative way. In the nearly 9 years since, she lives within the small and managed life as largely as she can, creating art through painting portraits, landscapes, abstracts in watercolor, pastel, charcoal, and content, and working daily as a member of the Barrie Art Club and the McLaren Art Gallery. Revisiting one of her lifelong loves, Valerie realized poetry suits the limits of her particular injury. Initially, memorizing and reciting poems as a way to regain speech and short-term memory skills, she began writing poems as a complement to her paintings. This, in turn, led to 2 handmade collections with equal weight and importance given to the visual and written components, creating a dialogue. With the creation last year of a further 13 poems for her paintings, a properly published anthology seemed the logical next step. Holding Up the Sky, 33 paintings and their poems, was published through Friesen Press, Victoria on May 1st, 2018. It has inadvertently created a vehicle for offering inspiration to anyone who has suffered a catastrophic injury. And there is a way forward out of trauma through art. Accepting her award this evening is her husband, Andre Beneteau. Please join me in congratulating Valerie Losell, Barrie's Artist Without Barriers.
Just wanted to say, Val, excuse me. Okay, Val wanted to come tonight. She came, but was, I'm overwhelmed. She was overwhelmed by the crowd and the sound. She wanted me to say that she thanks her mother for making it possible, and me,